City of Mullins administration and council members want to keep you informed. Please join us now for the City of Mullins council meeting.
So we will now officially call this meeting to order. We're going to ask that, if he would, Councilman Campbell would give us the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. We'll ask that Councilwoman Wilson would give us our prayer in that order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, in your Son Jesus' name, we thank you, Lord God, for this day. We thank you, O Lord, for your continued mercy and grace. We thank you for your love. Father, we ask that you direct us in all things as we prepare for city business. We thank you, Lord God, for every council member. We thank you for all of our families and our business. And we thank you, oh God, for your direction. And it's in your Son Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. All right. Thank you again, Councilman Campbell, and thank you, Councilwoman Wilson. Pursuant to the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act, the local media has been informed of this meeting. And just a couple of housekeeping things we ask that for those who are here with us today, taking part in the meeting, that you would mute your phones, other than the council people, unless you have background noise, of course, please still mute your phones. If you need any assistance with that, we'll ask that Ms. Holly, if you would monitor the volumes and mute them if they need help, please. Also, we remind you, councilmen and women, if you would, as we're doing our votes, because some of us are able to use our video and some are not, if you would please remember to anytime you take action to state your district in your name, and we will do it in a round table type fashion so that we can get everything on record. If you would, if you need to make note or need the floor, if you would, just please again state your district, state your name, and request the floor, and we'll do our best to accommodate that. First thing we need to do is get the approval of the agenda. Can we have a motion?
So moved, Pat Phillips, District 4.
Thank you.
Second, District 6.
Thank you. It has been properly moved by District 4, seconded by District 6. All those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. All right, the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, letters A through E. Approval of the minutes, February 9th, 2021, City Council meeting, February 18th, Fire Committee meeting, February 25th, Weeds and Dilapidated Buildings Committee meeting, approval of minutes, February 25th, Finance Committee meeting, and the overall approval of bills, monthly bills that were in your packets. We need a motion, please.
Mr. Mayor, if I may,
yes, sir. We
need to make an amendment to the Fire Committee meeting.
Okay.
That was held Wednesday, February 18th. In the minutes, it states that the meeting was held on Wednesday, February 26th. That needs to be corrected.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Felicia, do you have that?
I have it, so noted.
Thank you so much. If we can get a motion with the amended items, please.
So moved, Pat Phillips, District 4.
Thank you.
I'd like to second that motion. Mayo Phillips, District 1.
Thank you. It has been properly moved and second. All those in favor, please let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, likewise. All right, thank you so much. We're now moving down to the new business. First item on the new business is the proposed fee schedule for the fire department, requesting to burn properties. Information has also been included in your packet, and an update was sent via email earlier today. So, Councilman Campbell, would you like to make your proposal presentation?
Yes, if Chief Stetson is on the line, I will bring him in and let him explain what we're looking to do. But the Fire Committee has held meetings, and we are looking at ways to increase revenue for the fire department, but also identify properties in the community that are dilapidated and looking for a reasonable way to help people in the community get those issues taken care of. So Chief Stetson is on the phone. I would like for him to step in and speak a little bit on this.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. We introduced this at a fire committee meeting. We have a lot of traffic coming in the fire department to get us to burn houses down. We've been doing it for free to little of no donations. And it's been placing wear and tear on the trucks, and that's kind of where we are today with the condition of the truck. So we came up with a fee schedule that if folks came in voluntarily, inside the city would be a nominal fee of $200. Outside the city would be $250. I was asked at that time by Councilwoman Terry Davis to come to the dilapidated Structures and Grounds Committee meeting and present the same findings. And after talking with Superintendent Gilcrease, with his equipment being put on property to tear things down, he could not do it for that because of landfill fees and so forth. So what we decided between the two meetings, and different council people attended the different meetings, is if people come into the fire department voluntarily, we would go on with the $200 or the $250 fee, whichever applies. But if it comes before the city as a mandate that we go on a property that has been neglected, that Taurus and I and the dilapidated building committee would go out and look at it. If it's something that we can burn down, we'll burn it down. If it's something that has to be torn down, Taurus would do it. But we decided at that time, if it was mandated and not voluntary, that we would come up with a fee of $1,000. So that's the discussion between the two committees, and I think that would bring everybody up to speed to where we are on this program.
Thank you, Chief Stetson. Mr. Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Councilman. I do have a question, and we'll open up quickly for discussion. Just to be clear, if a citizen is coming to the city, we're proposing $200 for within the city, $250 for outside of the city limits. And if it's mandated through the process of ordinance, we're proposing $1,000. Is that correct?
For clarification,
that directed?
Go ahead.
Was that directed to the chief or the committee chairman, Mr. Mayor?
Whoever like to answer it. Chief, you can answer it. Thank you.
Yeah, I deliberated with Taurus after we had the meeting, and with the amount of equipment and manpower that he would have to put on the property, he said he could not do it for the amount that we had proposed. So we just came up with the discussion at the dilapidated buildings committee meeting that if it was something that that was neglected and we had to go after those individuals and go through the whole process without it being voluntarily, that involving the city attorney and doing title searches and all that, that $1,000 fee would be fair.
Okay, thank you, sir. Councilman Campbell, is there anything else on this issue before we open it up for discussion to the other council?
No, there's nothing additional to add.
Thank you. District 1?
Not at the moment.
Thank you, sir. District number 3?
Nothing.
Okay. District 4?
That's fine.
District 5?
Not at this time.
District 6?
No comment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Terry Davis, I'm going to say Pastor Mayor. This Terry Davis, District 3, I'm sorry, I do have something to say.
Go ahead.
To all the families, the homeowners of the property will be receiving letters, either in reference to the those letters will be going out to pay for cutting the grasses. Felicia is working on getting those letters out to the homeowners, and also the letters will be going out to the homeowners. So one thing I ask that all city council, if you have a home in your area and you know the family members or friends of that family, we need your support in helping us get this process done. In the last 4 years, I've been trying to write grants to get these dilapidated houses down, but with not the participation from the homeowners not wanting to do the paperwork or wanting to hold on to the property, that was not a result. And that's why we chose to try this option here. The only other option that we got is to take everybody to court, and we try not to do that if possible. So we know that the fire department, if I'm correct, if I'm wrong, Robert, the fire department is talking about $200 and $250. Charge is asking for $1,000 because of the equipment that's going to be used. Is that correct? Because when the letters go out, we want to make sure that, and to the citizens that are listening, to you too, we need your support in making sure. The city of Mullins looks bad, has been for a while, and we are still in the process of trying to clean it up. So not only just sharing this information with us, but to all those that are listening, we need your support. You know of a property next to you, you know of a house next to you, please let us know if you have some contacts that we don't have, because I would love to see the city actually get cleaned up. And the only way that process is going to take place is we get support from all the homeowners. I think that kind of sums up the housing, dilapidated houses. Did I miss anything, Robert, Taurus, and Pat? No, you covered everything. Okay. But I just want to let everybody know, please let your family members and friends know these letters will be going out for your weeding and the grass cutting and also dilapidated houses. So look for those letters. If you got a family member you don't think that we've gotten your house on the list, let us know. And I constantly encourage all of us on city council in your district to try to identify the houses. I'd like to thank Eddie Edwards, the code enforcer, who went out and identified all of the properties that we need to be looking into. So hopefully we'll get the support from the city, and not the city in particular, but the citizens, that we can make sure this process gets started and that we can start looking at cleaner Mullins. That's
Absolutely.
it, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Davis. And I'll just echo what she said, just for the sake of unity here. It is important, ladies and gentlemen, that we support this effort and that we take an aggressive and a firm stance on these homes. As she stated, we've been taking other courses of action for years, and some of them have not yielded any response. And as we all know, the city and the citizens are are asking that we take a firmer stance, and so this is a great opportunity. Everybody's not going to like it, but it's what's necessary. It's what is in the ordinances already, and it's there for a reason. So let's work together on this. If we can, please, ma'am, please, sir. Thank you so much. We do need to bring this, we need to call a vote on this as proposed fee schedule for the fire department. We need a motion from the fire department. Chairperson, excuse me.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the request to burn property and dilapidated houses within the city limits of Mullins at the fee of $200 and $250 outside of the city limits with a demolition charge of $1,000 pending any fees.
Thank you, sir.
Second, Pat Phillips, District 4.
Thank you. We have a second. I mean, did we get it first? I don't know if I heard.
I thought the chairperson made the motion.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Forgive me. It has been properly moved in seconds. I'm sorry. Let's do the roll call here. All those in favor, we'll start with District 1.
Aye. District 1.
District 2.
Mayor Phillips.
District 2.
Aye, Andre Campbell.
3.
Aye, Terry Davis, District 2.
Thank you, District 4.
Aye, Pat Phillips, District 4.
District 5.
In the kitchen, District 5.
Thank you, District 6.
Carolyn Wilson. Aye.
Thank you so much. It's been properly moved in second. And we have a unanimous vote as well. Thank you. We have item B, which is the community garden, which items B and C will coincide together. And so part of this will be brought up in executive session. So I will make a brief comments and presentations on this, but we ask that you would hold your comments to the executive session for the actual action that needs to be taken. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Can everyone see my screen for those who have video?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I do not have the video, but that's all right.
Okay, so as it pertains to item B, the community garden, several months ago, or at least within the past couple of months, the Marion County Food Policy Council has been put into effect. A council has come together, and the central aim of the Food Policy Council is to identify and propose innovative solutions to improve local and state food systems, spurring local economic development and making food systems more environmentally sustainable and socially just. The partners of this particular project, this food council, is that of Pig 42 Foundation, the Clemson Extension, University of South Carolina, the Arnold School of Public Health, Marion County School District, and we're hoping that the City of Mullins would come along with this project as well. We'll give a little bit of information, and then we'll raise questions in executive session as there are some items we need to take action on. So it's the crawl, walk, run method. Number one, we'll start with Mullins and then expand to other cities. The programs will look to combine multiple aspects of food insecurity and healthy lifestyle choices such as walking and biking. We will work with local businesses to provide opportunities for them to sponsor key initiatives. What can the Food Policy Council accomplish? We can foster entrepreneurship in the mobile produce business. Once these gardens produce, once this food is produced, there'll be opportunities for entrepreneurship. Increasing the number of stores, farmers markets, and nonprofit food buying cooperatives that accept SNAP and EBT. It will be improving access to produce, meat, and dairy in low-income areas by passing legislation that incentivizes grocery store development. It will support farm-to-school efforts locally, healthy school lunches, taking away sugary drinks and vending machines, and also brings an aspect of community gardens, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Farmland preservation encourages local buying while promoting local farmers growing produce, and encourages new and beginning farmers in the community. Zoning changes to allow for things like chickens and things of that nature to build up this type of environment, and to conduct a food issues survey. So the first project that is being proposed, and I will add that Councilwoman Terry Davis is a part of the Food Council. She is a part of this on I guess you can say two fronts. Part of one of the organizations that's spearheading the project. She serves on the board as well as a councilwoman representing the city, and I myself am a part of it as well, representing the city of Mullins, so that we have a stake in this project. The first project is to establish 4 community gardens in Mullins. Garden sites are scored on a 20-point system: connectivity, power, access to the sun, safety, proximity to a captain in a neighborhood. So these gardens will work on a captain system. There will be a person that is designated within the community that will be almost the driving force or the heartbeat of each and every one of these gardens to bring leadership to the teams that are formed around the gardens. And so there are 4 top sites that were looked into. 3 of these sites are properties that are owned by the city of Mullins, and this is where the partnership opportunity comes in for the city of Mullins. One of them is what the community calls the block, which is on Front Street. And it's just a small piece. If you can see here, for those of you who have video in the presentation, it's not the piece that's highlighted here, but on this side, it consists of about 3 or 4 little small parcels there at the corner of Front Street, and I believe that's Smith Street. That's one area that's being proposed for this block. The block highlights a great central location on nicely traveled roads. Seating areas is being proposed, edible gardens, trees, pears, plum, peaches, for example. This type of, I think what's called the edible garden or edible forest, will allow for people to be able to frequent the area and just pluck from the tree, pluck from the bush, and kind of creates an inviting space. And so the items for budget and sponsorship are waters being needed, signage, lighting, and benches, trees, things that will make it an inviting space. The second one is the 311 West Marion Street. It was also scored high with a 4.6 from the council. It's the property that's on West Marion Street, and it sits at the corner of West Marion and Cooper. It was considered a park years ago where I think Little League and different people used to play and practice. You can see it here on the screen. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece of property that the city has, and it's already beautiful and in great shape. It's one that we're already contributing to, but this will be a great place for a community garden, because as we work with the Clean Neighborhoods Initiative, as we're building up these areas, combating high litter rates and things of that nature, this will give us an opportunity to put a beautiful garden here, a community garden, possibly even a greenhouse here that would make it accessible, will be accessible to the community, be able to come in. There'll be raised beds with these fruits and vegetables, and it will be just a wonderful sight to see. So this is another property that is being proposed. This area, great location, nicely traveled roads, has walking paths, lighting, things of that nature, greenhouse, there's water already there, power already there, and so we would need the city's support in being able to take this over as far as use is concerned, sprinkler systems, tapping into the current systems, rocks to be installed, things of that nature. The third one is the 343 Dillon Street location. This is not owned by the City of Mullins. It's owned by the water company, Grand Strand. They've already been contacted. Councilwoman Davis is working on that, and based upon their feedback, it looks like it will be something that would be a very great partnership. We think it's going to happen, so we're excited about that as well. And then the last site here is 114 Broad Street. 114 Broad Street. This is on the backside of Palmetto Education Center. If you notice that early in the presentation, one of the partners listed was Marion County School District. They have already, Dr. Bethea has already come on board as a partner. They're excited about the opportunity and the potential of Clemson Extension coming in, part of this program, and actually teaching this as a curriculum. So this property is owned by the City of Mullins. It's right there at the school district. So not only would there be a nice community garden there, but the students would participate in it, and it would be part of the curriculum. So this is a great opportunity be synergy within the community and within the stakeholders of the city. It's adjacent to the Success Academy. The partnership is there. Clemson Extension will teach the classes, but there is some needs, water, benches, rocks installed, things of that nature. And also one of my favorite things here is once harvest time happens, food will be harvested by the captains and their teams in these neighborhood gardens. Clemson Extension has made available a mobile food pantry, as you see here, and the Food Policy Council will determine how to distribute the harvest. And so that is still being worked out, but this will be available to the community. They will have access to fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, and I believe that this is a wonderful, wonderful start to something awesome here in the City of Mullins. And there's some other potential sites that the council will be coming back to City Council about once these take off, but I think that this will be wonderful. On second thought, I will open up the floor quickly. First of all, I'll give Councilwoman Davis, if she has any words, she can briefly state those, but anything about the action items as far as the property, we'll bring it over in executive session, but if there's any questions about the program, we'll open the floor now. So we'll start with Councilwoman Davis.
With who?
With you, yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, I think you kind of summed up everything, except I want to make sure we thank Miko Pickett, who was very instrumental in making sure that we got this piece together. What we did first was Miko and I put together a piece that kind of described what we should be looking for before we even take on these properties. And it was called the Community Garden Score Sheet, and that allowed us the opportunity to look for certain things that we needed to, whether there were trees, whether it would be a safe environment, whether it was in proximity to where the captain of the gardening would be, and people in the community, how concerned they would be. So when we went around a couple of weeks ago, we identified certain properties, and we also went into the community and talked with people in the community, telling them what we wanted to do. So after we did that and we summed it up from looking at the neighborhood, looking at the caption, is it safe? What do we actually need to get this project off the ground besides Clemson Extension doing the bulk of the work? It wouldn't be a lot that we would have to do. They come in and build the beds that have to be built. But I have the information that the mayor just read to you, and if you want copies, I can give you everything that he talked about tonight, so you'll have a copy, a clear picture, because just trying to tell you tonight you may not get the vision that we want. to get across. But I think this is a great idea, along with all the other little things that we're going to do, because trying to make your city better. And I know some probably think, oh, this is a waste of time. It's not. And I say that because I've had the opportunity to work with, talk with some folks in Florence and in the Walterboro area, because the JAG program was very instrumental in putting this program together in Walterboro and Hampton County. And I got a chance to hear her tell us some of the pros and cons about it. But if you got the captain is the main person who's going to be committed to that particular area that we're talking about, and we identified those 3 areas. And in reference to Grand Strand, I did speak with someone from Grand Strand who sounded interested in what we are trying to do. It was just a matter of us getting permission from them that we can use that piece of property to put the gardening on. I think that kind of sums it up. I think you kind of said everything else. But Pick 42 was very instrumental in making sure that we got this project off the ground, and doing all basically the legwork that needed to be done by Nico Pickett and myself, along with her husband, Mr. Pickett. And I think you kind of highlighted what we need to be looking for. And I hope you got questions. I hope City Council does have questions they need to ask us about, because I would like to see this project go somewhere. I like to see a positive. It would be nice to know that we can not only give out the food boxes we're giving out, but we can grow our own vegetables and fruits and share them with people in the community.
All right, thank you so much, Councilwoman. District 1, is there any question concerning the program itself?
Not a question, but I think this is a great idea. I think this is great for the community. I also think that also with the partners, we can also maybe increase maybe some of the partners, just so that it can be in line with what this mission is about. Those are just some of my comments that I have at the moment. But yeah, for right now, I have no questions.
Thank you, sir. District 1, any questions or comments about the program itself?
District 3, District 2.
I'm sorry, District 2. I'm not sure what I said.
District 2, no, I concur with Councilman Phillips. I think it's a wonderful idea. I think, the partners that are in place are wonderful partners for the community. They have been for a number of years, and looking forward to building upon that and seeing what's to come out of this. I think it's a great idea, and excited that we were able to participate in it.
Thank you. District 4, any questions about the program or comments?
I said kudos for us, because it's a great thing and it'll bring some positive things to Mullins. But I do have one question. The captains will be people who live in that particular district. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes. People who live in that community.
Okay. Narrow down to that community and neighborhood. Absolutely.
Okay, I think that's wonderful.
Yes, all right. District 5. Any questions?
It sounds good. I would like to be able to see have a visual look at some of the, the things that were just stated a few minutes ago, some statistics, because sometimes I can see more when I'm looking at something visually. It sounds good, though, so I would like to be able to see some of the notes and so forth on this sometime in the very near future.
Absolutely. We'll get emailed to you tonight in the works. District 6, any questions or comments about the program?
Sure. Thank you, Carolyn Wilson. This is an excellent idea, and I'm sure it will do well, because our people need to think healthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent idea. Thank you.
Awesome. So we thank everybody for their questions and comments. And again, there is one action item that we'll bring up specifically for this contractual agreement, so it has to be in executive session. So we'll move on from that. The next item of new business is the recommendation from the Finance Committee concerning the COVID relief for city employees. And so we'll now yield the floor to Councilwoman Wilson.
Thank you. The Finance Committee met And this is one of the items that we all agreed. We discussed the fact that previously our employees were given a COVID stipend, and considering all that they do for the city and the fact that it's still ongoing, it would be the right thing to do if we were to revisit that with another stipend. And the committee was in agreement, and we're bringing it now to full council for comments or questions.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman. So just to reiterate for clarity, there's a proposal being made to full council, recommendation from the Finance Committee concerning COVID relief for the city employees. And so before we vote on it, Ms. Felicia, Madam Clerk, is this something that we need to discuss in executive session as far as the amounts or anything of that nature?
No, sir. It was just a recommendation from the Finance Committee. You can state the amount since they've already agreed to it in the committee. They're just bringing it to y'all so you can make a motion.
Okay, thank you. So if, Councilwoman, if you would give us the amounts, I'm sure it's a question for those who might not already know what council.
Excuse me, Mayor and Carolyn. Is it anyway? This is Terry. Is it anyway? Somebody is. I can barely hear what you were saying, Council Wilson, because of some background noise. So is it possible you can let whoever it is not muting their phone? Would they please mute it with the TV so we can hear? They must have heard.
Okay, it's not on my end. I don't know where it is. It's not on my end.
I think it's Andre, and I have muted him.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Just wanted a question. You just wanted us to what are we doing here? We just going to say
since you couldn't hear me, let me repeat.
Thank you.
Because the Finance Committee...
Councilwoman Wilson, before you do that, since it wasn't her, let me reiterate before you do that, if you don't mind. So Councilwoman is getting ready to make the recommendation from the Finance Committee concerning the COVID relief for city employees. Her committee is proposing a relief package, so to speak, for our city employees. So she'll give us the information on that at this time. Councilwoman, you have the floor.
Okay, at the top of the COVID period, the City Council gave city employees a stipend, a COVID stipend, and the Finance Committee has agreed, as a result of this meeting, to revisit that and give the city employees another stipend, which would be in the amount of $200 per employee. As I stated, the Finance Committee was in agreement. We have the funds, and at this time we're bringing it to full council.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman. We'll go in roundtable fashion for any discussion before we bring it to a vote. District 1.
What was the amount? Did we discuss what the amount was? I'm sorry if I missed the amount.
$200.
Okay.
$200.
Okay. I think that is good. I think that's a good effort for what we're doing. So I'm in agreement in giving a relief stimulus.
Thank you. All right. District 2, any questions or comments?
No questions.
District 3, any discussion?
No. Terry Davis, District 3, no discussion. I think it's a great idea.
Okay. District 4, any discussion?
I'm in agreement.
Okay. District 5, any discussion?
No, I'm definitely in agreement. I think it's a good idea.
All right, District 6, we know you're in agreement with it. We need a motion and then a second.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the recommendation from the Finance Committee for the stipend for our city employees. Pat Phillips, District 4.
Thank you.
Second, Andre Campbell, District 2.
Thank you. It has been properly moved in second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, likewise. And ayes have it. The recommendation has been accepted. Thank you so much, Finance Committee and Council. We're now moving down to item 7, which is executive session. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are with us from the public, you may remain here on the call, but we are going to break out into another virtual room, and so you won't be able to see or hear us. But you may remain on the call, and if you desire, and then we'll be back with the results of executive session. And so we need a motion and a second to enter an executive session.
I make the motion. Eddie Kitchen, District 5.
Excuse me, and follow my own. We're entering into executive session for contractual matters regarding Applied Knowledge Vehicle Services, Mayor's Garage, and the Gapway Street building, as well as Community Garden.
I think we're good.
All right, thank you, everybody. And for those out waiting, thank you as well. I think she has Miss Felicia and Chief, we appreciate you as well, sir. All right, we have come out of executive session. We need a motion to enter back into, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can we please have
So made. Eddie Kitchen, District 5.
Thank you, District 5.
Second, Pat Phillips, District 4.
Thank you, District 4.
Terry Davis, District 3.
Thank you. We've come back into open session. No action taken. So just a few action items. Let's see. Ms. Holly, if you can work with me to, actually I can do that directly. I'll send that to you directly, Mr. Councilman Kitchen. I'll send that to you tonight. That way you'll have it.
Okay.
No worries there. And let's see. The contractual issue, Ms. Holly, are you going to reach out?
Yes.
Gapway? Okay. And so everything else has been taken care of. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Any committee reports?
Question, Terry Davis, District 3. I don't have any committee reports. I think my committees we've already discussed with the dilapidated buildings and weeds, gardening, and all that information has already been discussed. My question was with the COVID assistance that's being given. You and I spoke. I was wondering what are we as city doing towards making sure that our senior citizens and people that are in need of getting the shot, what part can we play in that? That's just something to think about. I think it's not something we need to discuss tonight because I know it's late, but what can we as city do? I know our churches are reaching out, but there are things that the city can do. What is there something we can think about and get back?
Absolutely, I think that's definitely good. We have to continue the conversation with Mr. Spencer Twigg. Had a really great conversation with him. Also, the Chamber of Commerce. There were some recommendations about some building uses, as well as I think it might be something good to volunteer the green space as a location so that we can get a clinic here in Mullins and get the tents up and give our support, police department, things of that nature to make that happen. So I think that's really good. and we might need to get some more organizations involved, and it might be boiling down to knocking on doors and getting the word out, finding some organizations and volunteers that are willing to do that. But that's definitely something that we should be thinking of. I agree with you, Councilwoman. So any ideas, if y'all want to email them or text them or give them to Ms. Holly and Ms. Felicia, and we can definitely get into a special meeting if something comes up quickly. But appreciate you bringing that up, because they do have a lot of openings. Even for this round here, and most of the people in Mullins fall into that 1B, if I'm not mistaken, because we work in close contact with other people, so most people fall into that range. So definitely getting the word out. That was something good. So let's continue to wear a mask, and let's continue to be safe. And God has brought us this far, so let's continue to keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Everybody's received, I'm sorry, any other committee reports? Go ahead, sir.
Just a brief update from the Branding and Marketing Advisory Committee, just to give everybody an update on kind of some of the things that we've been talking about, and this is included in your packet as well. We've begun the process of reviewing companies to help us rebrand Mullins. That is via our website and social media presence. One of the things we talked about, and we've talked about this before with full council, is about transparent government. And so we want to make sure that we have tools that are in place so we can more effectively and efficiently communicate with the community. That kind of ties into what Councilwoman Davis was just alluding to as far as our COVID communication with the community. What are some of the things that we're doing? We can work to get a better website, better communication system with the community. I think that will help to further some of the things that the City of Mullins is trying to do, and some of our outreaches and programs and things of that nature. So we're currently in the process of reviewing proposals. We've reviewed one from a company called Granicus. And it was just decided that proposal is just a little bit too robust and too expensive for the City of Mullins. So we've reached out to VC3, who is our current IT provider, and they'll be providing a proposal within the coming days, and we'll sit down and discuss that at the next committee meeting. One of the other initiatives we talked about was also Reimagined Mullins. As we know, this is the brainchild of our Mayor, Woodbury, and talked about bringing that to life. What does that mean? What does it look like? And just basically taking it from idea to manifestation, and how we're going to get buy-in, hopefully, from everybody on council and department heads and staff, and then out to the community. Right now it's just a hashtag, but the hope is that we can move it from a hashtag to an actual movement. I think, perspective and mindsets have to change within our community, and they all start with ideas. And the more ideas that we're able to bring to the table, and the more togetherness that the community feels involved in, I think some of those things can actually come to play. So those are some of the things we're working on. We also talked about the Marion County 2025 strategic plan, and I think that was listed as a part of our package as well, or at least a communication was sent out to review that so that we can discuss further. Because the city needs to come up with a strategic plan. If there's one in place, it needs to be reevaluated, revised, and updated. But those are some of the things that we've talked about, and we're excited about moving forward with and getting everybody on board with. So that's my brief update on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And I'll entertain any questions if need be.
Okay. Any other committee updates?
It was in the packet when we met with the fire department last week, but we've gotten the 1,800 carts. We did not have enough, so Taurus has ordered 300 more, and they should be in within the next few weeks. And they were bought at a cheaper rate because we bought them through, the municipal association. I don't exactly know how that works, but anyway, and so they should be in soon. So seemingly things are running much smoother with the city in control of our garbage pickup.
Thank you, sir. And it wasn't mentioned, but I want to add as well that some cardboard dumpsters have gone out. I'm sure many of you have seen the big blue dumpsters, and so that's going to be a great benefit to the city as well. We could make potentially thousands of dollars off of cardboard, just collection from these, the bigger industry here in the city. So that's going to also be another source of income. So thank you all on the Street and Sanitation Committee as well. Thanks for all you're doing. Any other committee reports? Yes, sir. What we met with today with the Recreation Department, if we want to wait till the next council meeting to discuss, or is it admissible now to talk about it? Yeah. If you have something to mention now, you can. Otherwise, you can wait till the next meeting. Just briefly, just an update. Met with the department, Mr. Alan Floyd, about the update about the 1% tax that was allocated for the city for the recreation department. There were updates about the tennis courts, and maybe some suggestions about the track fields that could be updated, and also what were the sorry for 1 second. Also talks about renovation of the gymnasium on Park Street. So I think those were some good things that was in place. There were also some questions about certain things that need to be discussed, dealing with admission to the facilities at certain times, and the admission payment to be able to, or deposit to be able to access via the Miles Recreation Center or the gymnasium on Park Street. Gotcha. Thank you, sir. And also to note, what Councilman was also referring to, for those who remember the penny sales tax that was done about 4 years ago, probably 3 years ago. So that's correct. We're just now getting the money for that, so that the projects that were awarded then we're just now getting started on. And so just so that everybody knows, these are ones from the past. All right, thank you. Any other committee reports? Yes. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for your time. The proposed fiscal year 2022 budget calendar was sent out. Ms. Holly drafted this up, and we approved it, and it's been sent out to you. I'm not going to go through everything, but please note on it that the next meeting for council as a whole is March 23rd, and it's going to be another dinner meeting. This particular meeting, we're going to have to tackle some important things. Councilman Campbell talked a little bit briefly about the 2025 county plan, and this meeting is where I specifically want to talk about that. We need to ensure, I hadn't planned to bring a strategic plan up until the second half of this year, but because the county released their 2025 plan, and it includes us, it's important that we go ahead and align up our interest or not, and make it clear to the county what we will and will not be participating in. It's a solid plan. I'm sure you all have read it, but it's Marion centric. It's centered on Marion, so we need to make it our own. But we don't need to have a county plan and a Mullins plan. If we're going to do these action items, they need to be part of the Mullins plan. And so this is what I want to do. at that date. So please, ma'am, please, sir, you can help the process, and you can help it not be too long of a meeting by, take time between now and then and think boldly. As we discussed, we're committed to thinking outside of the box. Write down your dreams, your vision, your plans, and what we're looking at is what we want Mullins to look like 3 years from now and 5 years from now. I don't think we'll be able to do a whole 5-year plan, but I think we can tackle a 3-year plan, or at least part of it. So we've got to figure out what we want the end result to be for Mullins so that we can work backwards and figure out how to get there. I've already talked to Mullins, Ms. Holly, what's it called? Mullins Chamber Foundation.
Right.
Yeah. They were on the call as well. They're committed to doing a strategic plan and making sure Mullins is included. We're going to propose it to the Chamber of Commerce as well, that they do a plan, and that I say Mullins, but the city is also, if all of us can get on the same page, Mullins can do some awesome things. So that's what that meeting is going to be about. We're going to have dinner while we do it. That way we'll be a little comfortable, okay? You'll also notice March 10th through the 18th is the time that the administrator has put in the schedule for us to meet with department heads. Please schedule that with Ms. Felicia. It's important that you get your department head meetings in there before the budget requests get back to Ms. Holly, so that you can kind of already have your thoughts in place. She's going to prepare it between March 26th and 9th. Then we'll have the virtual council meeting next week, and then we'll have several council workshops in person. Okay, so please look at your calendar for the in-person dates. We will be socially distanced. We will be in a big room. But I think if we don't do it in person, we'll do a lot of back and forth, and we'll end up getting not a whole lot accomplished as if we can look at each other's eyes. So hopefully you agree with me there. We'll have refreshments, and so that we can be comfortable as well. One thing that we're going to do new this year is on April 27th, there's going to be a public budget workshop. And I know that sounds scary, but what it's going to allow is the public to have a process in the budgeting, be a part of the budgeting process. And we know going in that we're going to hear some ideas that are going to be, out of the box. We're going to hear some ideas that are going to be things we're not going to be able to do. We're going to hear some good ideas. But in the past, I know you've all heard it, that people just don't feel like they're included in the process. And sometimes you will find that some really great ideas will come if we just take the time to listen. Even if we're not able to implement them, just the residents knowing that we've taken the time and we've created a call like this, a Zoom call or a free conference call, where the public can come on in a controlled environment, and they have the opportunity to give feedback on what they want to see in Mullins. I think that makes all of us look like really good leaders that we are. And so hopefully you'll agree with me there. That's going to be on April 27th. It's going to be virtual. Of course, we won't have all those people in one room. It's going to be virtual. So before then we'll meet, and then after then we'll meet to discuss what we learned and what we found. And then we'll be finalizing the budget and trying to fit all that in there with the budget that we have. So I know it sounds like an impossible task, but it's not. It sounds like a busy couple of months. It definitely is, and appreciate you being on top of your personal schedules to commit to Reimagining Mullins. So thank you all. We're getting ready to do the adjournment if there's no other questions or comments. District 2, you have the floor.
I'm sorry, I knew you were ready to get out of here. I just had an observation on the budget calendar. The council meetings through June are all slated or designated as virtual. Has that determination been finalized yet? I mean, are we going to be virtual through June?
You mean the regular public meetings?
Yeah, the city council meetings, yeah.
Yeah, so far, yes, but however, those are definitely up for, we can adjust those at any time, especially with the vaccine going out, so we'll just play it by ear. If everybody's comfortable, things are looking good, we could do those regular scheduling meetings, as normal. If not, we'll continue virtual.
Thank you.
For those regular monthly meetings, okay? All right, if there's nothing else, we need a motion to adjourn.
Pat Phillips, District 4, so moved.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Karen Davis, District 3, second.
Thank you, Councilwoman Davis as well. God bless you all. Y'all have a good night. I gotta go find
God bless you too.
All right,
All right, too.
All right, good night, everyone.
All right, good night. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
All right, cut this thing off here.